So, dear students, I am back again with a new class. Today is our first chapter's third class. Okay, in the last class, we discussed about programming rules of C. Then we discussed about the structure of C program. Again, we discussed about how to type or write a C program and get the output. Then we also discussed about some questions and answers. Okay, then we did two programs in C. We did hello world and addition of two numbers in C. Okay, we also got their output. So today I will teach you about assembler, difference between C and C++, and C and Java. Okay, difference between C and Java. So dear students, let us move on to our new topic today. Our new topic is assembler. So what is an assembler? Let us know it. An assembler is a program that converts assembly language into machine code. Do you know what is assembly language? Assembly language is nothing but it is a low level programming language designed for a specific type of processor. Okay. So do you know how many types of processors are there? Basically, there are two types of processor. One is of 32 bits and another is of 64 bits. Okay, now let us move on to this definition of assembler. Most programs are written in high level programming languages and are compiled directly to machine code using compiler. Okay, so I have taught you in the previous video what is a compiler. I have also taught you about interpreter. Okay, so if you don't know what is a compiler, just move on to the previous video and you will know what is a compiler. I have explained very nicely there. Okay, however, in some cases assembly code may be used to customize functions and ensure they perform in a specific way. Therefore, IDEs often include assemblers so they can build programs from both high and low level languages. So now comes on about IDE. What is IDE? IDE is integrated development environment. Okay, so what is IDE? It is a software application that combines all of the features and tools needed by a software developer. Okay, like Adobe Dreamweaver CS6. Example of IDE is Adobe Dreamweaver CS6. So this is the definition of assembler, students. Just note out from here. Okay, now comes on about the difference between C and C++. So let us move on to the first difference between C and C++. So the first difference is C is structured or procedure oriented programming language, whereas C++ is object oriented programming language. Now what is structured programming language? Structured programming language actually allows a programmer to code a program by dividing the whole program into smaller units. Okay, so this is structured oriented programming language. C is a structured procedure oriented programming language, whereas C is object oriented programming language. You can also say object oriented programming language as OOPS. Why OOPS? Because look, object starts with O, oriented starts with O, programming starts with P, so OOP. In shortcut you can also say OOPS. So C is structured oriented programming language, whereas C++ follows OOPS concept. Okay, or object oriented programming language. Second difference between C and C++ is C language program design is top down approach, whereas C++ is using bottom up approach. Okay, these students, look at these students, this sometimes comes as fill in the blanks. Okay, C language program design is you need to write top down approach. Okay, so remember this point. Now the third difference between C and C++ is C language gives importance to functions rather than data. Now what was functions? I have explained you earlier. Okay, I am going to say you again what is function in C. Functions are a group of statements that together perform a task. Okay, example of function is main function, that main 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 function in C. So C language gives importance to functions rather than data, whereas C++ programming language gives importance to data rather than functions. Okay, this is also an important difference between C and C++. Now the fourth difference is exception handling is not present in C programming language, whereas in C++ exception handling is present. Okay, now C language allows data to freely flow around the functions, but data and functions are bonded together in C++, which does not allow data to freely flow around the functions. Okay, this is also an important point. So dear students, there are 5 differences between C and C++ which I have listed out for you. These are very easy points. Okay, just read it once. I am sure you will able to remember it forever. Okay, just note out these points. These are very easy points. Okay, you can take a screenshot or you can also note it out. I have explained these points to you. Now comes the difference between C and Java. Java is also a programming language like C. Okay, now the first difference between C and Java is C does not contain the property called inheritance. Okay, this is a property of Java. C does not contain the property called inheritance because it does not support OOPS, means C does not support object oriented programming language. Okay, Java contains the property of inheritance, which is very useful in code reusability. What happens in code reusability? The code that can be used by the programmer, okay, over and over again, that is called code reusability. Now the next difference between C and Java is C breaks down to functions but Java breaks down to objects. Now functions I have explained to you earlier. Okay, so C breaks down to functions but Java breaks down to objects. Okay, the third main important difference between C and Java is C is procedural programming language which you have got earlier, but Java is object oriented programming language. Java also follows the concept of object oriented programming language. Okay, so dear students, these three are the main important points of C and Java. So I hope you will take a screenshot or you will note it down. Okay, I am sure if you write these points in exam, you are going to get full marks. So dear students, that was all for today. Okay, in the next video I will come with a important topic of C programming course, that is flowchart and algorithm. Okay, I will explain in the next video about flowchart and algorithm. So this was all for today. So note this points out. Okay, what I have explained here, these are very easy answers that I have taken out for you. Okay, so dear students, if you like the video, just subscribe, comment and like it. Okay, and the most important part of this video is you note these points out. Okay, it will just take a few minutes to note this point out, study it for 5 to 10 minutes, you will remember it. Okay, and you will get good marks in your exam. So I hope best for you. So for today I am leaving it. Okay, so in the next video I will come with flowchart and algorithm. Okay, so till then, bye, take care.